Good afternoon, everyone. I am Shane Malaka, an NPRM student from EMSU. This video is regarding to a critic evaluation of an article. So we have here the introduction. This article was written by three authors, Justina Rebecca, Ashutosh Tiwari from the Manufacturing and Materials Department, Cranfield University, UK, and Gary Leake of School of Chemical Engineering, University of Birmingham, UK, in which entitled Technology Readiness Level Assessment of Composite Recycling Technologies in regarding to the evaluation of recycling of the glass fiber and carbon fiber using the different composite recycling practices such as waste management hierarchy and technology readiness level. This article was received December 15, 2014, received in revised form August 24, 2015, was accepted August 25, 2015. It became available online September 3, 2015, and it was published in the Book of Journal of Cleaner Production from pages 1001 to 1002 on the 20th day of January 2016. The author of this paper wants us to understand why technologies can help and improve the recycling process, in which may have a potential desirability through a technology readiness level assessment and waste management hierarchy frameworks that can give a great evaluation of impact to our environment. The goal of this research paper is to deliver a broad maturity and potential desirability of composite recycling technologies. Next, we go to the summary of this article. Many industries have changed through these composite materials. When we say composite, it is the combination of some various components in which it is made up of chromatic parts of elements. In this stated article, the composite materials comprises of glass and carbon fiber in which it made for the globally demand to increase rapidly. This kind of composites recycling plays an integral part in the near future in the fields of aerospace, automotive, constructions, and marines because of its possible qualities in combining the mechanical strength, design, flexibility, reducing weight, and a low-cost system that can apprehend these composite materials for being the choice, especially in the field of transportation. Composite materials, which are made of carbon fiber and glass fiber resin matrix, are fairly new in the commercial use, but the commercially recycling process of the materials being used are still under the development. This kind of industry must bear different recycling option, which was based on the compliance with the legislation, the kind of business model, and the cost of its effectiveness. To achieve the evaluation of the waste management strategies of composites, the examine of these recycling technologies are being conducted through the two methods of composite, the technology readiness level and the waste management hierarchy. The analysis of this paper uses 56 different research projects which will be able to determine the growing trends in terms of composite recycling technologies with the use of pyrolysis, solvolysis, and mechanical grinding as considered as one of the most common technologies in the area of composite recycling. The recycling technologies have obtained high scores in regards with the waste management hierarchy, whether if it is recycling or reuse form. It is set to see that it can be used as alternatives to composite landfilling. It was obvious in the research that the recycling as a waste management strategy is the most common for the study. During the research, it was seen that the mechanical grinding was the most developed in glass fiber while pyrolysis are the most developed in carbon fiber. According to this paper, it also featured the necessity of understanding about the use of reclaimed materials, for it is an important assessment in the recycling areas. It has a big benefaction to the extent of systematizing knowledge on the understanding about the composite recycling technologies. So we have here the critical evaluation of the article. In this paper, the purpose of the author is to evaluate the different recycling technologies for which it will help to assess and identify the appropriate and importance of the research, having an enough evaluation for the new circumstances. So the focus of this paper is on the literature review regarding to the recycling of technologies available. And the assessment of two-dimensional scale, which is the maturity and sustainability for the ocean of waste management. This kind of assessment could bring a significant cost and complicated operational in the future waste management of composite for some industries. The glass and carbon fiber are the new matrix in the commercial use, having it a contribution for a viable result, but still the availability of the process of this material is under development. Some of manufacturers in Europe are paying the cost of landfill tax for disposing their waste to the landfill site, in which it includes a climate change levy. It was during on 2017, according to the gathered data, there are 4 countries which don't have a proper landfill tax, unlike to Italy and Spain, had significant differences in the regions of Europe. The landfill taxes imposed in Italy increased from 5.2 to 25.82 euros per ton, while in Spain, they have from 7 to 41.19 euros. However, the country of Austria has the highest cost of landfill tax, in which amounting to 84.53 euros per ton, while in the US, the cost of landfilling decreases its cost during the year 2020 from 53.72 US dollars per ton. This was a decrease of 1.64 US dollar per ton compared to the previous years, and the number of landfills in the US has decreases within the last few decades, but even that in some countries like the US have decreases its landfill tax value, there are some countries that still landfilling is highly cost or expensive, and it become a least preferred option by the legislation and recognized it as unviable for some industries. There are some ways that we can lessen the use of landfill by reducing the level of consumption, promoting some organic foods, lessen the use of plastics, and enhance the implementation of waste management. Another is that it was stated in the paper that incinerators are being restricted due to that it prevents air, water, and soil pollution by limiting or lessening the emission level. But as I see, if we look deeper in the uses of this incineration, it releases carcinogenic and other toxic chemicals by burning different waste, which may comprises of heavy metals, partially burned organic materials like polyvinyl chloride, herbicide residues, and other organic chemicals. The polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, dioxins, and furan are also included, and we can avoid it by lessening the use of such incineration. In the Philippines, the usage of incineration is being banned due to that these waste incineration are causing some serious problems not only to the environment but also to the human health, for it was being the major source of cancer-causing emission. For that, it has been identified as the leading cause of premature deaths to humans. Having an understanding to the level of different recycling technologies will help us to determine what are the opportunities it could bring for some success of waste management for the composite solutions. By many different substances, that a material composes, it may create a heterogeneous waste and it could possibly bring different chemical or toxic substances that can be harmful to our health, in which the writer did not elaborate more the impact of this heterogeneous waste. It will be a big help if there are a conducting of proper segregation of waste, for it will help to mitigate the said different heterogeneous chemical waste. There are two destinations of heterogeneous waste. It is whether it could be end of life or manufacturing waste. Disposal, recovery, recycling, reuse, and prevention are the 5 strategies in the waste management. Although the waste management provide a guide practice for waste classification for many industries and give a desirability in the waste management perspective legislation, we cannot deny that there are instances we commit undesirable acts that can lead to improper waste management implementation, in which it can result to a disgusting look and has the effect to the economy of the country. And as we see in the article, there are different ways or methods on how to do a composite recycling technology by conducting a waste management hierarchy and technology readiness level, in which under the waste management hierarchy are the 5 recycling processes such as the mechanical grinding, pyrolysis, cement kiln, fluidized bed, and solvolysis, for which it is done for glass fiber and reinforced and carbon fiber reinforced. But there are 3 most commonly used for glass fiber and carbon fiber recycling, which are the pyrolysis, solvolysis, and mechanical grinding. So, glass fiber are the materials that comprises a numerous amount of an extremely fine fiberglass, and these glass fibers research are most commonly used in mechanical grinding because it has a lower cost comparing to solvolysis and pyrolysis, and also it allows reusing of materials in different ways. While carbon fiber comprises mostly of carbon atoms, which only about 5 to 7 micrometers in diameter of size and is most commonly used in the pyrolysis. Because pyrolysis are the process of thermal decomposition of some materials in which at the elevated temperature of an inert atmosphere. During this process of pyrolysis, the carbon fiber was heated up in the absence of oxygen and can be broken down. But despite of these stages, it leaves a char on the carbon fiber that could avoid a good quality of bond in the resin matrix. So, pyrolysis and oxidation could never be enough in preserving carbon fibers. But to ensure and maintain the high quality of recovery and the efficiency of economic thermal decomposition of carbon fibers are needed to be guided by doing an analysis to the energy required in establishing a chemical reaction in the composite and separating it from its surrounding matrix. But solvolysis has a neutral or having a clear split between the carbon fiber and glass fiber research project in regarding to the technological maturity. So the ability of carbon fiber lies for aerospace industry, while the glass fiber structural lies for automotive and construction industry. However, recycled fiber requires a similar kind of qualities of fiber in order to reuse, which it seems to be an effort consuming in the availability of recycling technologies. By having a broader understanding regarding to the maturity of the different recycling technologies will warrant the industry in assessing the options availability and exploring the capabilities required to facilitate composite recycling. This said to have a great impact to the industry sector of aerospace, marine, construction, and automotive. So, by this, I will enclose this article by having a quotation from Robin Givan stated that films go into vaults, arts into museums, and music into balls of fames, most fashioned in worn for a few seasons and offloaded into the recycling bin or worse, some landfill. And under that, we had the different citation which I gathered from the internet or other sources. So that would be all. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.